Hi, this video is going to focus on techniques using color pencils. For this, I'm just going to use these color pencils, but to be honest, any color pencil will be fine. You don't necessarily always need a very wide range of colors, but what does make a difference is how you use the pencils. Before you even begin, it's important to make sure that your pencil's nice and sharp. And there's a couple of different ways you can hold your pencil to get different shades of lights and darks. If you hold your pencil closer to the point, you'll have more control. You can also put in a lot more pressure. However, when you hold it further up the pencil, even halfway or even towards the back, you lose that control because it sweeps much more, but you automatically lose that pressure. So this is a good technique for if you want a very light effect. Also, the angle of your pencil will make a difference. You can hold it right on its point, not pressing too hard because that's when the lead might snap, or at an angle. This is good for getting very precise lines, or even a bit more on its side, so more of the pencil is actually in contact with the paper. You'll get a much wider range. So we're going to have a practice with some of these techniques. We're going to look at blending the colors a little bit and creating shades going from light to dark. So I'm going to start off with some light shades. And to do this, I'm actually just going to switch out the pencil. I'm going to start with a lighter pencil, and I'm going to sweep my pencil across using this kind of stroke here. So the side of the pencil, and hopefully you can see that it's kind of a nice flat area. Now, if I want to make it darker, the best thing to do is actually to do another layer. Layering is going to be the best way forward here. So if I go over it again, it becomes progressively darker. Okay, so I can do a layer, do another layer, and keep going by adding the layers. I can also change the pressure, so I can change my grip. But the moment I change my grip and I'm using the point, you'll see that I'm getting a darker shade, but I'm also getting a much finer line. So this is good for details. Another way to get a darker shade is just to use a darker pencil. So again, I'm using the flat side of the pencil and layering it over the top. Okay, and by pressing down, I can make it darker. So using this technique is good for wide areas. If you're covering quite a wide area of your picture, then sweeping it backwards and forwards, you can cover the wide area quickly and without pressing down too hard. And if you want it darker, it's simple. You just go over it again and again. Okay. Now, if you do want much more control and you want more details, then you do switch to maybe the point of the pencil. Okay. So oops, no, see I pressed down too hard and that broke a bit. Never mind, that's okay. To be honest, this technique is what you want to do sort of at the end. So if I want to say, for example, to draw a simple sphere and to shade it, I might start with the light tones first. So the flat side of my pencil. I'm just going over the layers here. So I want to imagine that the light is hitting it here, so I'm just going to switch pencils. I'm going to go to a darker tone, still at the side, using the flat side of my pencil. Notice here that instead of big sweeps, because I'm doing a smaller area, I'm actually almost going around in a circular motion. Okay, this gives a lot more control and also a lot darker, especially as I go up to the edges of my drawing. I end up, and you see what I'm doing? I'm moving my hand further down the pencil. I get much more control because I'm going towards the edge, and here I'm changing my stroke again. It just broke, that's okay. Going around, you can turn the page if you want as well, not a problem to do that. So using smaller strokes rather than the big sweeping ones. If you're drawing a small object or a small area, then you want to use small strokes. If the area is big, then you can use the bigger sweeping strokes. Slightly losing the edge here, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, a bit like with pencils, normal lead pencils, you can switch backwards and forwards between different colours. Okay, I'm going to use a purple now to get it really much darker. Okay, small strokes for the control of the edge. Okay, and also the pressure. So I'm pressing down, I'm holding my pencil very close to the point. Okay. So when you're drawing, try these different techniques. For a light effect, hold your pencil at the end. Big sweeps. Okay. If you don't want to do big sweeps but you want the light effect, just hold your pencil a little closer. Okay. And just move your hand backwards and forwards. All right. If you want it to be darker, layer it. Go backwards and forwards. Okay. Hold your pencil closer towards the point and even start using the sharper end of the pencil to get that control. Okay. So have a practice with these techniques and then actually try it out on a drawing.